Greetings, my friends, and welcome to the last quarter moon episode of Collective Awakening Weekly. This is a weekly energy update and activation to support our collective journeys in spiritual awakening, healing, and empowerment. My name is Carrie, and today we're looking at the energies happening from September 27th, 2021 through October 3rd, 2021. Our week starts this week with Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Libra. And I want to mention that this now brings us into 6 planets in retrograde over the course of at least the next few weeks. In and of itself, having 6 planets in retrograde is an indicator that the best use of our attention right now is going to be through doing personal growth work on the inner planes. Retrogrades have a tendency to slow down the energy of manifesting, taking action, things that involve more of an outward focus of doing. And so the best way to harness that energy is through going within and doing personal growth work. Now, when we combine this with the fact that we are in the last quarter moon phase happening in the sign of Cancer, which is a watery, intuitive-oriented, home-oriented sign, this compels us even more this week to want to go inward for some self-care, some self-nurturing. Also, we do still have Venus in Scorpio. This week, it's trining Neptune in Pisces, which is also retrograde. Venus is about our passions. Scorpio craves deep connections. And as it's trining Neptune in Pisces, Neptune is the planet that is connected to sort of our cosmic connection. It's our inner psyche, it's our deepest unconscious dreams, it's connected to our daydreams, our sense of connection with our own higher selves, with spirit, with the magic and mystery of life in the sign of Pisces, which also rules all of those same things. It's our unconscious mind, it's our intuition, it's our desire to connect with spirit. So all the way around, any way you look at it, this week is a really good time for self-development, self-care, and even doing shadow work, especially while we're in this last quarter moon phase. Because the last quarter moon energy every month is prime energy for any type of clearing, expressing, releasing work. Now, shadow work can be used in the way of healing old wounds and traumas, but it can also be used as a tool in reclaiming talents, skills, abilities, and your deepest soul gifts that have been hanging out in your unconscious shadow side. For those of you who feel compelled to take the challenge to delve into some shamanic shadow work this week, I'm going to go ahead and link the playlist that I have on my YouTube channel up here that deals specifically with shamanic shadow work practices. So the tarot spread that I'm going to work with this week is in alignment with the spirit of the energy that's happening this week, which compels all of us to go a little bit more inward, tending to some self-care, self-nurturing, and personal growth. Let's go ahead and dive in. Today I'm working with my Wisdom of Avalon Oracle deck. And so let me just take a moment here to center myself. Again, setting the intention that everything that comes through today is coming from only the highest sources of guidance and light possible, and that everything is truthful, clear, and in alignment with supporting our highest paths. The first card that we're going to look at today is representing that which is finding balance. What's finding balance collectively? Feels like it wants to be this one. And it's the Fire Fairy. The fire fairy inspires creative action and flow. It's assigned to the number 30, which is a 3. In numerology, 3 is the number of expansion, first signs of growth. So when the fire fairy comes up, it's typically an indicator that we're on the right track in regard to whatever our deepest goals and dreams are, and we're being invited to take action. So the way that this would show up as the energy that's balancing for all of us in regard to this last quarter moon phase that we're in, it feels like, a time of assessment, assessing what aspects of your intentions and actions have bared an early fruit, so to speak, and maybe what needs to be cleared away or purified. That fire element is also an energy of purification. Now, we talked about how the energies this week are more about inward. So rather than taking outward action in the form of doing, what we can do is formulate clear intentions, plans. We may want to literally work with the element of fire in any type of healing work that any of you might be feeling compelled to do over the course of the next few weeks. One way that I love to work with fire in the way of anything that I want to release or clear is I'll simply write down keywords of whatever I want to clear, let go, or release. And then I burn that piece of paper with the intention of releasing that energy from my own personal energy field and returning it to spirit, where it can be converted, transmuted into reusable energy. The next card that we're going to look at is representing what's fading, what's clearing away. Feels like it wants to be this one. Communication, which is assigned to a 41, which equals a 5 in numerology. So, okay, we've got Mercury retrograde in the sign of Libra. As I said, Mercury is all about communication. Libra is about balance. 5 is innovation, creativity, imagination. With Mercury retrograde and this card showing up in regard to what's fading, what's releasing, discovering creative methods of expression in processes of whatever it is that you want to clear or release. So that can be movement, dance, music, poetry, art, whatever you feel creatively compelled to that can act as a form of expression. This week is actually like a tool we can use for that which wants to fade, clear, or release. Another aspect that's coming up in regard to what's fading, clearing, or completing, having clear communication with yourself, checking in with yourself, asking yourself, what wants to fade? What wants to release? What wants to be cleared? So this energy is showing up about the tools that we can use to support that which is fading, releasing, or completing. Clear self-communication internally and discovering and working with creative ways of self-expression in any ways that can be supportive of any healing processes that might be connected to what's clearing or releasing as well this week. Next card we're going to look at, what wants to be carried forward? What wants to be carried forward energetically as we will be coming into the new moon in another week here? Deer energy, gentleness, kindness. It's important now that as we're navigating through these energies that we all allow ourselves to be gentle with ourselves. We might be heading into a period where we're unsure of our footing, so to speak, in life, and or we could be transitioning out of challenging situations. Allow yourself maybe to meditate on deer energy. Blend your personal energy with the gentleness of deer energy. There's a teaching associated with this card that talks about not mistaking gentleness for weakness. This is really aligned with the energy of self-care, self-development, self-growth that feels to be shining in this week. So if any of you are taking the opportunity to do some healing work, to do some shadow work, we want to do it with gentleness, with kindness, with compassion, self-love. Now, speaking of that, I'm going to go ahead and pull an extra card here. This is my shamanic healing oracle deck. I usually will just pull like one card from this deck to talk about, okay, what wants to be healed. And again, this is a reading for the collective. So whatever shows up is influencing all of us collectively, but then we can all have self-reflection around how does this uniquely, individually pertain to me. So let me just shift these cards out of the way here. And what's coming up for healing? Or what's coming up around the energy of healing for all of us this week as we have these 6 planets retrograde and some other astrological aspects inspiring us inward. Let's take a peek here. What's the energy around healing? This is the one that wants to come up. Ooh, the Death card. So Death card represents a symbolic transition, transformation. I always see the Death card as being like way more about rebirth and renewal than anything else. When I picked it up, it was reversed. And so I would say this is a message to be open to allow the energy of transformation to occur within yourself through that healing work that you're doing. We don't want to resist the energy of transformation because growth is on the other side of that. It's in this deck, it's assigned to the number 8. When 8s come up, it's a reminder to keep our life force energy flowing. We don't want to stagnate. And so that's a part of the message about not resisting transformation. When we resist transformation, ultimately we end up feeling like we're stagnating. Energy wants to flow right now. We're in fall. Fall is all about going with the flow, flowing in the direction of blessings in our life with gratitude in our hearts and allowing those energies in and of themselves to very lovingly, nurturingly bring us into positive transformation. So ask yourself, in what ways am I feeling compelled in the direction of personal transformation? Obviously, this is something that we're in an ongoing process of collectively, but this week with the energies, it's really sort of highlighted. Rebirth, renewal comes from letting go of the old, creating space for the new. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Much love to all of you. Blessings. Namaste. Stay tuned. There's more videos right around the corner, and I will see you in the next one.